Welcome back to Nightmare Stories of the Other Side. Again, today we welcome back in Emily Watterson for our part two of our podcast. And in about 2 minutes over on our YouTube channel, part one of our podcast from last Sunday will be dropping. So make sure you go check that out. So, Emily, how have you been today? And how has the last week been?
I'm really well today, thank you. Last week was quite intense with the trip to Liverpool.
So yeah, we'll just jump in and start right there with that investigation. So intense as in like spirit interaction, or how would you describe it?
Um, Intense in both ways, spiritual and just the whole experience of the journey down there. A few things that happened to us while we were there. Again, not spiritual, but sort of quite intense things that happened. And then the investigation was quite mind blowing, really.
That's great to hear. So anything specifically you can share like that happened on the trek down there? Was it,
Yeah.
transportation wise, health wise?
Well, the trip down to Liverpool or across to Liverpool was really good, really nice, very enjoyable journey down. And then we all decided that we met with the group that we were meeting with and collaborating with, and we decided we'd go and have a meal on the Monday afternoon in a quiet pub. So we went into this pub and there was a really bad fight, and we ended up
Oh,
being locked in the pub and waiting for the police to arrive. So
oh,
that
that's
was a bit of
crazy.
a oh, okay. So we're in the pub a little bit longer than we expected, and there was sort of smashed glass and all sorts. So that was a little bit sort of wow, okay, well expecting that.
Yeah. Well, that's
There were a
great.
few,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Sorry. No, go
There
ahead.
were a few instances where we team members were also approached by people outside the hotel, and there was sort of at some point there was some threatening behaviour going on. So it was there was quite a few wow incidences.
Right.
Um, Shocked us a
Sounds like
bit.
it. Yeah, not kind of like you never can really plan for that stuff, because life happens and it's just kind of
Yeah,
one of those things.
yeah, yeah. But all said and done, it was Liverpool is amazing, absolutely amazing.
Well, that's good. So you guys were at the Adelphi Hotel. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. So what's a little bit of the history of the hotel and then the paranormal history as well?
The hotel, there's been a hotel on that site for many, many years, sort of as far back as sort of Victorian times. I believe it was some Georgian townhouses at one point, but then was sort of formed into one sort of large building and then added onto as the years went by. It then became the Adelphi Hotel, and it's absolutely immense. It When I arrived at the hotel, it took my breath away. So it's been a hotel for forever, basically, for as long as it's stood. The current building that's there now, with the additions, has been the hotel for as long as it has been. It's just so beautiful. And so big. It's I couldn't get over how big it was. And the corridors are all the same, so you kind of walk in, and you feel like you're not getting anywhere, and it kind
Okay.
of messes with your head a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. As far as the haunted history, there is the story of Raymond, who was the young sort of page boy, luggage boy. Um, he was 15 years old, and I believe this was 1961, 62, around that time period. And there was an accident in the luggage lift, and he lost his life in this accident with the luggage lift. And he said to haunt the building. There's also quite a recent death there, as recent as 2022,
Oh, crazy.
when a young girl called Chloe lost her life when a wardrobe fell on top of her in a room. So some people have before connected and picked up on her. There's also George, who I believe fell from a window on, I can't remember which side of the building it was, but he fell sort of from quite a height from one of the windows, and he's said to sort of stand over you when you're in bed, sort of looking down on you.
Okay.
So there's quite a few things attached to the building, stories and
Yeah.
haunting.
So for like kind of put in perspective for like, other hotels, like how many floors does it have and how many rooms?
It has 6 floors,
Okay.
and I believe it was 400 and was it 430 something rooms, I think. I may have that number right. I know it's 400
Okay.
and something, but I can't tell you exactly. I can't remember if exactly the number, but around over 400 rooms.
All right, so that is a pretty big hotel then, because like, when you think of a six-floor hotel, you don't think you'd have that many rooms, but
Mm.
so I can just picture in my head like how big that would be.
Yeah, yeah. And the corridors are so wide. They're very wide. And I did recently read up that the reason the corridors are so wide is because they when it was sort of built and modelled as a hotel, they needed to allow room for the really large maritime chests that would come in from the ships.
Okay.
So that's why the corridors are sort of exceptionally wide.
Okay. So for like investigation, so like how'd that night go? Like what'd you guys start out doing? And then, also talk about, the hex box that you were gonna try out there.
Yeah. So the first night the first vigil of the first night we held in one of the rooms on the fourth floor. Um, it started off fairly quiet, and then the doors in the hotel are quite strange. You've got the solid wooden door, sort of the original wooden door, and then you have like an interior inside door, which is obviously a fire door because the original door wouldn't have been a fire door.
Hmm.
And these doors are directly together. So the outside wooden door, you use a key card to get in. And once you open that door, right there is the fire door, which then opens inwards.
Okay.
And we'd gone into the room, we'd made sure that the main outside door, the key card door, was closed, and we'd shut the internal fire door. And we'd sat down on the bed. We'd set up some equipment, some little metal soldiers that I'd recently purchased as a trigger object. And we were using the hex box, we were getting a few things through. But then one of the investigators, Mel, saw a shadow under the door. So, quite surprised, she sort of jumped up to have a look just to see if there was anyone out on the corridor on the landing. As she opened the inside door, the outside door was open, wide open.
Hmm.
But we don't know how that could have happened because you need a key card
Yeah.
to open that door. And we obviously made sure it was clicked shut when we'd shut the door. So it was quite a coincidence that she saw the shadow and then the door was opened. We then had a look at the little toy soldiers I'd set out, and one was missing. And we couldn't find it, and so I'd come to the conclusion: don't worry about it. I know it was there, but it's gone. I don't know
Yeah.
where. We actually found the toy soldier a little later on under the door,
Interesting.
like under outside. So that was so many things happened together that we couldn't debunk.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting.
It sounds like it.
Mm, yeah, yeah. It was there's a lot of energy. You can feel the energy in the rooms.
Yeah.
There's a lot of energy there.
So you guys were there 2 nights?
We were, yeah.
Okay. So the first night, besides, being in that room on the fourth floor, what else did you guys do that night? Estes sessions, what kind of other experiments?
Well, that night we did the vigil in the bedroom, and then we also actually went for a walk around the St James's Cemetery at Liverpool Cathedral. So we sort of headed out and looked around there. Um, we did then do a last vigil before we went to sleep, but we did have, to be honest, a fairly early night because we were so tired from travelling. But we did try a vigil in the other bedroom that we'd hired for the night, but it was all quiet in there. We didn't have any activity during that vigil at all.
All right.
So that was the point where we decided, okay, we're tired. We'd had a long day, so we decided to pack away and get some sleep that night.
That's probably a good call. It's like, yeah, because travel
Yeah,
can definitely be daunting and wear you
yeah,
out, and you want to make sure you're on your best.
yeah, yeah.
All right. So, what about the second night?
The second night, that was very interesting. So we were one investigator down at this point because Mel, who joined us on the first night, had to leave. She could only do the one night investigation. There was just the five of us, and we decided to set up in the sort of main area of the hotel, sort of the meeting area, I guess, the lounge area,
Okay.
which is really extravagant, absolutely beautiful place. We sat around on some sofas there and just sort of really sort of relaxed and put some equipment down. And then we had an Estes session. And during that session, it was really interesting. We got room number three, or we assume room number 342, and directly after it, the word mirrors.
Hmm.
So once we ended the session, we were sort of quite taken aback by this room number, and we thought we need to find this room number. Yeah, we have to find it. It's
Yeah.
quite obviously quite relevant. So we split up and we went on to the third floor where the number 300 rooms are, and we could not find room 342. So in the end, a couple of us went down to reception and said, "Can you tell us, please, where room 342 is?" And they said, "Yes, up on the third floor. It's there." We went up, we still couldn't find the room.
That's crazy.
And it's really with this room is no longer there. Um, but you can see on many of the rooms above the doors where the little brass numbers are attached. You can see where a lot of the numbers over the years have been moved around.
Yeah.
And I think some of the rooms have perhaps been made larger. So two rooms have become one, or it may have been used now as a storeroom for the hotel. But that there was a room 342, and I need to find out where that room was. So I am planning a trip back, and I'm currently looking into old floor plans
Yeah.
to find out how the numbers were originally um, spread out across that floor, because
Okay.
I need to find where that room was.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You can't let that go. It's just like
No,
something was
no.
drawing you there.
Yeah, exactly. And we were all walking round and round, and there's just a gap in the numbers. It doesn't make sense. So we need to find that room.
Most definitely.
Mm.
So, what else happened on the second night?
We went into a room on the third floor, and the same floor as the room we were looking for. And the third floor is supposed to be the most haunted floor. That's where even people that are not going for paranormal reasons, people see things, hear things, feel things on that floor. So we went into a bedroom on that floor, and we did a scrying session. So Janine, one of our investigators, she sat with a black scrying mirror, and we could see her face changing. She could see her face changing. It was really quite obvious that her features were changing, becoming more masculine. Um, she was then sort of touched on the arm, and she thought it was one of us. We confirmed it wasn't us at all. We weren't anywhere near her. And then as she came out of the Esther session, she sat down and she said she felt very sick. All of a sudden, she just felt really, really sick.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, she then went on to be sick a few times. Um, and then a little later in the night, the same happened to me, and I was violently sick for quite a lot of the night. unfortunately. But looking at the at Google, when you look at the hotel and Google um, effects it has on people, you'll find that being violently ill is very common when you visit the Adelphi Hotel.
Okay.
And I don't believe it's food because we didn't eat food at the hotel, so it just seems that it has that effect. Whether or not it's higher EMF or spiritual,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I was really, it really, really took it out of me, and I was so sick.
Yeah, like,
So
and then like when you left the hotel, did you, instantly feel better, or was it kind of a gradual?
I instantly stopped feeling sick when I left the hotel, but I did have like I was very sort of washed out and drained, sort of just there was almost like there was nothing left of me. And the train journey home, I was just sort of but I certainly walking out of the hotel, I felt much better. And I didn't feel sick.
Yeah, I've heard that from like, other investigators and even my daughter, like, we've gone to locations and,
Mm.
you know, all of a sudden you're there, you're not feeling well, and then you
Yeah,
leave and it's like fine. We had like one of our first investigations, we were only at the place like 2 hours and she had, said we had to leave because she wasn't feeling good, stomach hurt, headache, and all that.
yeah.
As soon as we got in the
Yeah.
car, started driving home, she felt better.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing how a building and the energy within that building can have such an effect
Yeah,
on your well-being, your health. But then, like you say, it can just go as quickly as you go away from that area, from that building.
yeah.
It's amazing.
All right, so the hex box, how did that, piece of equipment work, and did it meet your expectations?
It did, yes. I'm really looking forward to using it again. It was a really good piece of kit. We did have some really interesting words coming through. Um, there's I think there's six functions on it, and we did use the word bank function. That was really good. That was we felt that we had some really interesting things that were quite relevant to the building and relevant to the questions we were asking. We did also use it on the sort of the normal sort of spirit box, flicking through the radio stations backwards. We used that also, and yeah, it was really good. Yeah, I'd recommend it.
Okay,
Yeah, looking forward to using it again.
that's awesome. It's always nice when you can find like, a good piece of equipment that you like and
Yeah,
that you look forward to using again. And
yeah, yeah. It was really good.
so is there like, so with you liking that piece of equipment, is there like one piece of equipment that you've never had good luck with and that you just absolutely hate?
Yeah, traditional piece of equipment is dowsing rods. I cannot use dowsing rods. I've tried and I want to, but I just can't get on with them. No sooner do I sort of hold them up, do they spin round and just hit me in the face. So
Okay.
I can't get on with them at all. So that's one piece of equipment I don't usually take with me.
Okay. I don't know if you're familiar with the Phasm camera at all.
No.
So that's kind of like it's like a small pocket camera for infrared. That is like my Achilles. It's like I've never had good luck with it. It's like
Right.
the battery always seems to die after like 5, 10 minutes. I'm just like, and it's just like I tried selling it and nobody would buy it. So it's just kind of like one of those pieces that's like, I'm stuck with it.
Oh,
So
oh
it's
no,
like
yeah, I've not
I don't
heard
e
of that.
I don't even know where the thing is right now. It's like put away somewhere.
Oh wow.
All right, so let's see what else. So this kind of like, going through your page. Um I saw you had a post on there. I can't remember when it was, about Ed and Lorraine Warren. What are your thoughts on them?
Well, I'm I'm very, very torn. I am on the fence with them. I wouldn't say either way, because I don't know enough to be able to sort of make a decision and say they're fake or they're not. Um, I like them from what I've seen. I like them. Um, I think maybe he was um, probably little bit more genuine than she was. I'm not. I really am on the fence with it. Although from what I have read and seen, I like them. They come across as nice people.
Hmm.
But yeah, as far as faking goes, I really, really don't know. I'm very torn.
Okay. Let's see, where else? So kind of before I'm just gonna kind of get into like kind of a serious or a topic here. What are your thoughts like for, the paranormal community and like para-unity and mental health and kind of keeping, yourself sane and like away from drama and all that? Because it kind of seems like as of late, really, there's a lot of toxicity going on around the paranormal community.
Yeah, there is. I went through a really bad patch of that not so long ago, sort of summer last year. And I can't understand. I can't get my head around how people can be so cruel to other people. It's it like it's just so horrible, and I don't know how people can do it. I always say that not everybody likes everybody, and
Right,
that is absolutely fine. You don't have to like everybody, but my theory is if you don't like someone, just say, "Oh, I don't like them," and then move on. You don't have to say, "I don't like them." Let's hassle them, hound them, make their life hell, say that everything they're doing is wrong, say loads of horrible stuff about them. You don't need to do that. Just say, I don't really gel with that person and
right,
move on. It's so, so simple, yet it seems for many people to be so very difficult. And I don't think anyone in the paranormal world is right or wrong or better or more clever or more experienced than anybody else, because at the end of the day, the paranormal is the unknown. We don't know what we are talking with, we don't know what we're exploring. No bit of equipment is right or wrong. Um, Everybody has their own ways, their own methods, and that we should all accept that. We don't have to use the same methods as everyone else,
right.
but we should all accept that other people will use different methods to us, and
Hmm.
that is okay. It's not wrong. And I just wish people would just be kind. Kindness costs
Oh, for sure.
nothing.
Because I do remember seeing, I tried finding it, but I do remember seeing your post about something last summer. But then there was like another team that I investigated with. They had some issues last summer where they were getting harassed and bashed. I did as well. And then that one team, they had like stuff from last summer just resurface again and like
Mm,
old wounds. But there's just been like the last year, there's been so
yeah,
much. It's like, again,
yeah,
it's
it's
like I don't know
horrible.
if it's, people being jealous of ideas you have and then trying to shut that person down, or
Yeah,
if it's like, they just don't, like you in general, or if they, but it's like,
yeah,
from my experience with, it's like if somebody has a problem with you, it's like reach out and let the person know. Otherwise,
yeah,
it's like with me, it was like all one-sided. Nobody reached out to me. It was just
yeah,
like it's like a said, she said, and it's just like
yeah,
one side, and who they're bashing, who cares? Just
yeah,
shoot them
yeah,
down.
yeah, exactly. And that is the thing. If I do something someone really doesn't like, or I upset someone unintentionally, um, I would prefer that person to come to me privately and say, "Look, you've said this. It's actually upset me or caused a problem here," and then I can then correct myself and apologize and hopefully sort that problem out. But if I don't know what I've done wrong and someone's just got this thing and just gone off with it and ran, with this problem.
Right.
Um, like what can I do? I can't apologize or do anything about it. Um, and but I think you'll find a lot of people actually like the drama,
Oh, for sure.
and I think it's quite sad because
Right.
I like drama free. All I'm interested in is hanging out with some cool people and investigating the paranormal
Yep.
and having fun.
And it's like, I
That's
know when
all.
the stuff was going on with me, it's like, the people that had a problem with me, I tried reaching out and like,
Yeah,
apologizing, explaining myself.
yeah,
No response. It's like, again, it's
that
like,
exactly. Yeah,
ask
I did
me,
exactly the same.
ask me what's going on so you can hear my
Yeah,
side instead of like, having 80 some people pissed off at me. It's just like,
yeah, yeah.
it's so
No,
ridiculous. It's like, again, as you said, we're all here for the same thing to,
hmm,
collaborate, talk to spirits, document the
yeah,
history of these locations.
yeah,
How you do it is different than how I do it, but it's like,
yeah.
again, it's like, it is what it is. But as we're all
Yeah,
here, there's no room for the drama.
no, exactly. I do find as well that because my page has grown, because obviously I started just a few followers. It was just a page for because I was putting things on my own personal page. My friends were sort of like, please don't, it's boring. So I thought, right, I'll find a few people that are interested and make a page.
Hmm.
And because I mean it's grown fairly quickly, and I've got quite a number of followers now. And I found that I've actually lost some people I thought were friends. As my page has got bigger, I've lost people that I thought were friends because I've gained followers. But my reply to that is, what do I do? Sort of put a hold on the followers so no one else can follow me, or say, could please 1,000 people unfollow me because I'm not actually. It's not good to have that many followers. I don't.
Right.
I just love sharing my journeys, my travels, my historical places, my investigations. I love sharing them with people.
Hmm.
Um, and if people want to follow my page and watch that, that's brilliant. But it seems that some people don't like that. They don't like the fact that lots of people want to watch.
Right.
It's quite sad. I just wish people could just chill out and leave people alone.
Exactly. Because it's like, not only like if you're attacking somebody, you're making them look bad, but then again,
Mm.
you're the one who's causing the drama. So it's like, how does that look in
Mm.
other people's eyes that don't like drama?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I
It's
do try and keep my page drama free. So even when I was going through the mill last August, I did try and keep the page very, very friendly, not non-drama. I did put a couple of posts on there about respect and para-unity and things like that, because I think it's important to respect each other.
yeah,
But I didn't sort of name and shame. I didn't post screenshots and all those sorts of things because I'm not interested in that.
right.
It doesn't interest me.
And it's like for me, it's like when it happened to me, it's just like, okay, did what I needed to attempt to do, but then it's just like, I'm just gonna step away for 2, 3 months and just kind of chill out and relax
Yeah,
and let it blow over and then go back about my business.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it,
But
it truly is unfortunate. And it's like, there's so many people like us that agree with it. It was like somebody just put a post up on Facebook yesterday about just leaving
mm,
people alone. There was probably
yeah,
40 some comments on it, 200 likes, and it's just like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it
It infuriates me.
it
It really
so
does.
does.
Mm,
All right, so moving on. So I saw another thing on your page which kind of intrigued me. So if you could spend, I don't know if I read it or not, but if you could spend 6 hours in a haunted location with a famous person, who would you pick? I thought that was a pretty interesting question.
well, yeah. I would probably. Ooh, oh, it's a difficult one because there are so many. Probably, to be honest, uh, I might go for Freddie Mercury.
Oh, that's a good
'Cause
one.
he was pretty awesome. Yeah, he was. I'd love to hear him sing as well. So that
Yeah,
would be amazing.
that would be good. For me, I don't know. There's just so many. It's like
Yeah.
I never, Janis Joplin comes to mind. That would be a great
Mm.
person to spend in a haunted location with.
Yeah.
There's again, there's just
It's so difficult, isn't it?
it
It's
is.
so
It's like,
difficult.
but you never know. Maybe someday you might even
Maybe.
run into their spirits. You don't
You
know.
never know.
Um, let's see. We'll do another little fun one. So, what's a weird random fact about yourself that no one knows about you?
Um, I like mint sauce on my pancakes.
Hmm. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but yeah.
For me, a weird random fact. So, when we were pregnant with my first daughter, you get the pregnancy cravings, and my new one is still to this day, almost 13 years later, peanut butter toast with sea salt and jalapenos.
Oh wow.
Yep. You get a little bit of
Amazing.
the sweet and the spicy, and I don't know.
Yeah. Mm,
Yep.
nice.
And when I tell people about, they're like, "Really? That is so bizarre."
Mm, different. I'd
Yep.
give that a go.
All right. Let's see what else. Have you ever investigated either Edinburgh or Chillingham Castle?
No, I haven't. Neither of those.
Neither.
No,
Would those be
no.
on your bucket list to investigate?
Yes. Oh yeah, they are. They're quite a way. I think they're probably about a 6.5 hour drive, 6 hour
Okay.
drive for me. So it's quite a distance. But yeah, they're on my list. I will do them. I will definitely.
But yeah, they're on my list too, and it's kind of like funny.
Mm.
So like in Iowa, we have Edinburgh Manor. I'm like, well, I've done Edinburgh Manor. Now I need to do Edinburgh Castle. Kind of
Oh yeah,
step up the game a little bit.
yeah, definitely.
Another interesting thing I found on your page, the War Boys Witches. What is the history and the story behind that?
Okay, so Warboys is very close to where I live. It's just a small village. In fact, it's where I was born. And there's a history of witch trials being held there. So there was a witch from a local town of St. Neots, and there was a family who lived in Warboys, and the witch had supposedly put a curse on this family. So they started sort of having fits and being sick, and eventually these people from this family died. And there is a pond in the centre of Warboys. It's referred to as the Warboys Weir, and that is supposedly where the witches were dunked when they were tried.
Okay.
Though that isn't the Warboys Weir that is now isn't actually the actual place. The pond is actually sort of in the back of the village, back end of the village somewhere. But people sort of refer to that as the pond where the witches were dunked.
Okay. Interesting.
Mm.
Have you ever investigated there or just
I did investigate the pub, and also the a house that was sort of built on the land, sort of close to the pub. Um, and I did have that was Halloween a couple of years ago, and we did have some interesting things come through on the Spirit Box. So we had the name Alice and the name Samuel, and Alice Samuel was the name of the witch. So it's sort of that we had quite a lot come through the sort of referring back to the witches. So
okay.
that was quite an interesting night.
All right. Let's see, what else do I have? So, like when you're not out, you know, doing paranormal, like I saw this morning, you went for a walk around the St. Mary's Church. Is that kind of like an everyday thing? Just something to do on the weekends?
I will try and do something like a walk around a historical building at least sort of 3 or 4 times a week because I home educate my children.
Okay.
So history is a big part of what we do anyway. They love history. And the best way to learn is to be there in the history rather than just looking through books and learning.
Okay.
So we do quite often visit sort of churches, big historical houses, castles, all those sorts of places.
All right. And you said, was it your daughter? She also investigates with you?
Yes, she does.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is like has been her favorite location she's been to or like favorite paranormal experience?
I would say from listening to her, I would say the Hellfire Caves were probably her favorite location. She really did enjoy the Hellfire Caves. Um, I'm just thinking her probably her most sort of scary experience was probably when we were at a local satellite and radar station. That was actually in Warboys, where the witches were from, and we both got a bit frightened there. And that's the only place I've ever felt frightened ever on an
Hmm.
investigation. It was just me and Evie, and we both got quite frightened because there was noises coming from one of the rooms. We couldn't see anything on the night vision. And in the end, we just grabbed all of our kit and we just ran. So
Wow.
we weren't sure whether it was spirit or human. I think we were probably more scared that there was probably somebody in there.
Yeah.
But we couldn't see anything on the night vision. Yeah, so we decided to leave. So she always refers back to that
Okay.
as a scary moment.
So when you go into locations investigating, it's like, do you ever, how often, I should say, because I'm sure you have, but how often, like, do you encounter bats at all?
Um, we ha we've had a few at an abandoned RAF base that we go to, which soon will be completely demolished. Yeah, we've had some instances with bats there. Um, and at Woodchester Mansion, which is in Gloucestershire. I think it's Gloucestershire, the Welsh Gloucestershire border. Um, there's also been occasions there where we've had to be a bit careful.
Yeah, it's like, I've encountered bats a few times. There was one time we were at Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Kentucky,
Mm.
and I was exploring, checking out some noise, had the Phasm camera going. One of the times it worked. But like I'm recording, didn't have my flashlight on, but
Mm,
like going back to the footage, the bat was like dive bombing me and like I
yeah,
didn't even know it. And it's just like, oh, okay,
yeah, yeah. They're so quiet, aren't they? And
right.
they glide, and yeah.
Yeah, I have a Noah psychic medium investigator. He is terrified of bats. It's like he
Yeah,
investigated with
quite a few
us
people.
last summer, and we had two
Yeah.
locations in a row where he didn't encounter bats. He goes, "This has been the best 2 nights of my life because I haven't seen a bat."
Oh wow.
But yeah, everybody's always going to have something on an investigation, whether it's alive or spiritual, that is going
Yeah,
to terrify them. And for him, it's bats.
yeah,
For me, I haven't really encountered anything yet that's like, stood out like where it's like, oh crap, this is like bone chilling terrifying.
yeah. Mm,
But again, I've only been doing this 2 years, so there's still plenty of
no.
time for that.
I'm not keen on spiders when we're in cellars and things like that. If I can't see them, I'm fine. But if I see one, I'm not happy.
Yeah, I'm terrified of spiders, and
Yeah.
knock on wood, I have not seen one on an investigation yet. Otherwise, I might have to hightail it out of there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's see. I think so. Like, what kind of besides like your little soldiers, what kind of other objects do you use for trigger objects that really work?
I have an old tobacco tin, which I always think is quite relevant in a lot of the places we go. I go to sort of some old pubs, inns, places like that. So a nice old tobacco tin. I have some old penny coins. I have an old um, children's book, and it's the Lord's Prayer. What else have I got? A rosary, set of like rosary beads. Um, just trying to think, and some that are not so old, but like some marbles and playing cards and dice. I always think are quite good.
Okay.
Just things that you can ask spirit to manipulate, move the cards or dice, roll the marble. And then the older items, I think they may feel familiar with, so they can come close to them. The older items I usually put near the electronic devices, and then if they come towards the items that they're familiar with, that would then set off the device.
Okay. So one last thing I really have. So for like paranormal investigators that are new to the field coming in, because you've been doing this for a while, what is like, some advice you would give to them and, just words of wisdom in general?
Always go in with an open mind. Always be respectful to spirit and to the other people you're working with. Be accepting of everybody else's techniques and methods and the way they like to do things and things they like to use. Um, don't be closed off to using or trying anything. Always be open to try anything and try it, and then say, like, you can then just say, I no, I didn't like that piece of equipment, or that didn't really work for me, and then you can move on and try something else. But yeah, always be open-minded and respectful. That's the main two things.
Very good advice. And one other thing, I can't remember if I asked this last week or not. Did we ever talk about like if you ever have any future plans of coming over here to the United States investigating, or are you just kind of strictly staying across the pond?
Oh no, I would love to come to the USA. Absolutely would love to. Um, it's it's on the cards, but while the children are small, sort of they're fairly young, I need to sort of, I'll perhaps have to wait a couple of years, but
Yeah.
it's it's going to happen. Definitely, I have to come to the USA. Definitely.
So when you do make it over here, are there any locations that are like really stand out? It's like I have to go there. This is like the spot that I've been dying to go to.
I would love to go to the Stanley Hotel. Just because of my experience at the Adelphi Hotel, I would just love to see how that feels.
Okay, yeah.
Um, and to be honest, any of the sort of sanatoriums, asylums, because you seem to have so many over there that look absolutely amazing. So is it Penthurst? Is it
Yep. So
Penthurst?
Penhurst
Yeah.
Asylum, that is in Philadelphia out in Pennsylvania.
Right.
And so unfortunately, I don't know if this is just rumor or what's really happening, but there is the possibility that after this year it's going to be torn down.
Oh my goodness.
Yep,
So I need to hurry up then.
there
I
is
need to
talk
hurry up.
about turning it into a data center,
Oh my God, what a shame.
right? But
So
again, it's like who knows what's really going to happen, because I guess there's
yeah,
there's like all
yeah,
of the zoning, the permits and all that nonsense that
yeah,
has to happen. So hopefully not.
yeah. Oh, fingers crossed, because
You know,
yeah, it's on my list.
but yeah, we have like also we have like Waverly Hills Sanatorium. They over
Yes.
here they
Yeah.
call that the grandfather of all paranormal locations because it's like so
Wow.
iconic.
Yeah.
And then you got
Yeah.
Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. That place is like so massive. It's like if you look at pictures on Google, that place is just insanely huge.
Wow. Oh, I would love to come over and see them.
But yeah, there is just so many great locations over here. It's like,
Mm. Yeah.
I'm like making a list and it's like you probably could investigate a place a day and,
Yeah.
go beyond a year. There's just so many.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, hearing about new places all the time and
Mm. Yeah. I will get over there, definitely.
Yeah, it's like here in Minnesota, we unfortunately don't have too many, so we have to like travel 5, 6 hours to at least get to
But
one, and but
yeah,
that's all part of it.
yeah, exactly. The traveling is part of it, and it's part of the fun, especially when you're traveling with fellow investigators and you're building energy on the way. It's brilliant.
You know,
I do love a road trip.
and, on the road trips, seen plenty of crazy things. Like,
Yeah.
I think for us, like one of the weirdest was we were in West Virginia on the middle of the Appalachian Highway, 8:30 in the morning.
Mm.
The nearest road is like 5.5 miles in either direction. There's a
Right.
guy sitting on the side of the road, no shoes, no shirt, just shorts, drinking a beer and smoking a cigarette. It's like, where did this guy come from? It was like so
Train.
bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah. It's quite interesting, like driving so late at night, isn't it? And like you say, you see so many different things.
Right.
It's quite interesting.
Yeah. So again, refresh my memory. What are the rest of your plans for 2026? Some of the highlights.
For the future of in 2026, I'm looking forward to returning to some of the places I've investigated previously because return visits I think are always good.
Oh, for sure.
So you can confirm some of the information you've already gathered or see what else you can find. I am starting to write a book. It's probably going to be quite a slow process, but I'm starting. Um, I hope to do lots more podcasts, and I do hope to do a few public events as well. So, because most of my investigations are just me and my few fellow investigators that come out
Hmm.
with me. But I do hope to be able to hire a bigger venue and actually invite some public to come along and investigate with me. So, because I love meeting new people, so it's brilliant to sort of open it up to
Yeah.
people interested in the paranormal that perhaps haven't been before and just want to experience sort of their first taste of what an investigation's like.
All right. Well, it sounds like you have a great year ahead of you, and can't wait to keep reading your Facebook posts and seeing what's ahead. And then, yeah, I'll definitely have to have you back on the podcast maybe later this fall once, you get a lot of more interesting stories. And
Yeah,
all right, well, I thank you again
brilliant.
for taking some time and joining me.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you have
Thank
a
you very
great
much.
rest of your night, and we will
Thank
definitely
you.
stay in touch.
Yep, brilliant.
All
Thank you
right.
ever so much.
Yeah,
Thank
talk
you.
to you later.
Bye.
Bye.